Hi, my name is Nathan Tsai, and I am doing Rosa Parks for my Civil Disobedience project. Rosa Parks was born on February 4th, 1913 in Tuskegee, Alabama, is known as the mother of the Civil Rights Movement. Although the 13th Amendment abolished slavery in the U.S., in 1865 African Americans continued to be marginalized through legally mandated segregation. Legislation segregated everything from schools to residential areas to public parks to theaters to pools to cemeteries, asylums, jails, and residential homes. There were separate waiting rooms for whites and blacks in professional offices. Some states even segregated phone booths. At age 11, Rosa Parks moved to Montgomery, Alabama, and in 1943, after graduating high school, she joined the Montgomery chapter of the NAACP and became actively involved in the civil rights issues. Her passion was evident as she served as the chapter's youth leader as well as secretary to NAACP President Edgar Daniel Nixon, or Ed Nixon. On December 1st, 1955, her act of civil disobedience not only led to the Montgomery bus boycott, but eventually led to the end of racial segregation of public facilities. According to a Montgomery city ordinance, African Americans were required to sit at the back of public buses and were also obligated to give up those seats to white riders if the front of the bus was filled up. Parks was in the first row of the black section when the white driver demanded that she give up her seat to a white man. She refused to give up her seat to a white passenger. The bus driver demanded, "Why don't you stand up?" And Parks replied, "I don't think I should have to stand up," and then was arrested for a violation of Chapter 6, Section 11 of the Montgomery City Code. Parks was a seamstress and was coming from a long day's work and was physically tired, but that is not why she would give up her seat. She refused to give up her seat because she was tired of having to give in. Her arrest sparked a 381-day boycott of the Montgomery bus system. Approximately 40,000 black riders, the majority of the city bus riders, boycotted the system the next day. That afternoon, black leaders met to form the Montgomery Improvement Association. The group elected Martin Luther King Jr. as its president and decided to continue the boycott until the city met its demands. Even though African Americans represented at least 75% of Montgomery's bus ridership, the city resisted complying with the protesters' demands. But the boycott leaders organized carpools, and the city's African American taxi drivers charged only 10 cents, the same price as bus fare, for African American riders, and many black residents chose simply to walk. The Montgomery municipal transit system suffered gravely during the boycott. On November 13th, 1956, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down Alabama state and Montgomery city bus segregation laws as being in violation of Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. The boycott ended the next day, and Rosa Parks was among the first to ride the newly desegregated buses. Her civil disobedience led to the first victory for Martin Luther King Jr. and his nonviolent civil rights movement. Rosa Parks died on October 24, 2005. 3 days later, the U.S. Senate passed a resolution to honor Parks by allowing her body to lie in honor in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. She was a true pioneer in the civil rights movement. Thank you for watching.